everybody, and welcome to this All You Need Is a Ball yesteryear celebration, where today I'm delighted to be joined by three of what I believe to be the most iconic freestylers who have set the standard and set a trend for how the sport has grown over the last 10, 15, 20 years even. So I'm going to waste no time and get straight into introducing each of the people here. For those who don't know, firstly, we've got Daniel Rooseboom de Vries. I think I've pronounced that terribly well, but from the Netherlands, now living in Sweden. We've got Nam the Man. There's no other way of saying your name without saying Nam the Man. You're in Vietnam at the moment, Nam?
I'm in Japan at the moment.
You're in Japan at the moment. You always move. You move more than me, so I never know where you are. And we've got Jeon Kwon, Mr. JK, all the way from South Korea, joining us as well. Thank you guys for being here. It's so good to see you all together again.
Well, thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Me too. Hey, JK. Your wall looks like the ground. Anyway, forget that.
Nam being Nam. Okay. So to begin with, let's have a little, for those people again who don't know your stories, your journeys, maybe starting with you, Daniel. Could you take us back to the days, if you can remember, of when you started freestyle, how you got involved, what inspired you? Yeah, tell us about the early stages for you.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, of course, no problem. First of all, thank you for the kind introduction. Yeah, so I am from the Netherlands originally. Like you said, I live in Sweden now, but I grew up in the Netherlands, and in Holland, we have a strong street urban culture. This started already like in the 70s, where street football was heavily promoted, because they said if you're good on the street, then you become a good football player. So in Holland, street football, small games, 3 versus 3, 1 versus 1 was always very popular. And I was one of those typical Dutch kids that always played outside football, after school. It was always football, football, football. But connected to street football, we had a little bit of freestyle. It wasn't really called freestyle, but it was just like in between the games, doing some juggling and doing skills with the ball. It was before it was called freestyle. And this was like early to mid 90s. In Holland in the 90s, there was a football show on TV. It was very popular on the public channel. And they had this clip in it, and it was called Trick of the Week. And so every week they had this football player that did a certain trick. And one of these guys, and his name was Peter Hoekstra. He was actually later playing for Ajax and also national team. He did an around the world. He did some heel juggles and things like this. And I was like, oh my God, what's this? This is crazy. It was like football, but different. So this is when I really started to practice, like try to do an around the world and things like this. And there was a moment where I saw, okay, you have football and you have freestyle. And this is like, it's kind of a similar thing, but it's two different things. So I really started to focus more on the tricks and less on the football. So that was the origin of my freestyle football journey.
Perfect. And were you on your own, or was there anyone else? Were there friends with you back then doing that?
No, so I'm from a small town in Holland. It's called Gorkum, and it has like 30,000 people. And at the elementary school I went to, there was like a yard, and they had a little area where you could play 3 against 3, and there was some small goals. And we always played street football there, and I think we started like with 5 guys, 6 guys, all at the same time. I think we all did our first around the world at the same time.
Yep. Nice. Cool. Thanks for that.
But I'm the only one that stuck to it. So.
Good man. Cool. I'll come back to you shortly. Let's bring JK in next. I think let's go to South Korea, to Seoul. How are you, JK? And tell us how you began your journey into football.
English, okay. Thank you for inviting me here. Recently, I done freestyle in Korea. I done freestyle football in Korea. I'm just only focus on my academy and my work. As you know, maybe you saw my video on Instagram or something like.
Yeah.
Why I started freestyle football? I was a football player, as you know. After that, I saw Ronaldinho. Maybe most freestyler they saw Ronaldinho video. They watched the Ronaldinho commercial. After that, shock and wow, it's fantastic. I must do it, and I make it, and I wanna play some skill in real football game. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
So
that was your training.
After that, injury, something like you know, Korea culture, like younger people, older people have strict. I don't know word. Strict.
A respect hierarchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, you know, violence. Like some people hit the man. Not the man. Hit the man. Some people hit the man. I had the experience when I was young in my football team. Then I stopped football, and I'm only focused on training freestyle.
Okay.
After I saw Mr. Wu. Yes.
Of course. So
Shock.
Mr. Wu was, Mr. Wu, for anyone watching, we will, anyway, I'm going to post links to all of your work below here, but Mr. Wu included. He was your, I guess, teacher, maybe, back then?
He didn't my teacher, yes.
Okay.
But in my mind, my mind said he's my like teacher.
Yeah.
But not exactly. But I respect him.
Yep.
Because Ronaldinho request autography to Mr. Wu, because my hero request autography to him. Then, wow, this freestyle is have a good potential and venue.
Yep.
Could you understand?
100%. Yeah, totally. So that's just, so Mr. Wu, no, Ronaldinho asked for Mr. Wu's signature, and that moment was inspiring for you. Yeah.
Yes. And after high school, most of Korean people go to university. Maybe 90%.
Yeah.
But I chose to go UK.
You did.
London. Yes. And street performance in Trafalgar Square. And take a video and put on YouTube. And I meet Dan Wood. Dan would help me a lot, and I saw a lot of like market I saw for me then would how can I say most thankful guys. You helped me a lot, or like father. Yeah. Because,
Brother, we're all brothers together. This is why I'm here. We're all a family.
because yeah. Then I met John Farmers and other like Namdoman, Daniel Boomshek. Daniel.
Boomshaki.
Yeah, Boomshak.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes. But I had stress. I had I had Namdoman.
Nam's always laughing. Don't worry about Nam. He's giggling to himself most of the time.
No, I just forgot Daniel's nickname, Boom Jackie. So he just reminded me, and I just thought that was funny.
It's yeah.
Because Korean freestyler call him Boom Shacky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I had this nickname since I was 14 years old.
Okay.
In high school, they gave it to me. But the thing is that, you know, if we look at the old days and now, I think, you know, the fact that Nam is laughing like this, for me, this is the biggest difference. I don't see this very often.
Yeah.
How often do you go to a freestyle meet in 2020 and everybody's giggling? Not very often.
No. There's an approach to the sport. There was definitely an approach to the sport that's changed.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is like it was a bit more playful.
It wasn't a sport. Let's be honest. Back then.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Sure.
Sorry, JK. So JK, I'm going to come back to you shortly with some more questions. So one moment. Let's just let's bring Nam to the table, and same question to begin with. So, what was it like at the very beginning? Where did your confusing journey begin?
Let me see. I don't know where to start. I mean, I was always okay, born and raised in Ireland. Culture there. Okay, people love football there, right? I used to play a lot of football because it gave you a lot of respect, and so it was more football focused kind of a person. Got into freestyle football because I saw a friend do a knee stall and also an around the world trick before I even seen like TV ads with the famous Nike commercials with Ronaldinho, the airport commercials. Those are the, you know, it was mostly TV. I mean, like back then and now it's so different. I mean, like you got your mobile phone and everything you can get instantly, like on your phone. Back then you're just, you know, you're tuned to the TV screen, watching all these football games and waiting for the commercials in between just to catch that, you know, those inspiring ads. I started on the streets. I just loved it. And then obviously the internet was around. We're not that old, right? So, you know, I did some research online and I found Beyond Football. Am I wrong there? Is that right? Beyond Football?
Beyond Football.
And then, like, you know, there were tons of videos, right? There were tons of videos of all these people from across the world. And I was like, whoa, this is really cool. You know, from seeing TV commercials with, you know, these famous football players doing these tricks, you know, you kind of think maybe it's some kind of effect and whatnot. But yeah, I think there's a combination of everything that kind of just led me down that path. I saw freestyle football as a way to kind of like, how do you say, relieve myself from stress, all the stress. I love football. I played on the street, played Irish football, you know, they're very physical and fit. So, yeah, I started off with football, and freestyle football was more from the streets, TV, and online internet. That's where it kind of kicked off for me. I just loved it. It's just amazing what you can do with a football and be able to attract attention and interest, inspire other people, as well as motivate and push yourself. So just to keep that short, if you want to move on to the next
Yeah,
question.
that's great. Yeah, thanks, Nam. That's a really, really again emphasizes the beginning and how simple it actually is to begin. Was purely a spark of interest that triggered something inside of all of you to say you don't need to wait for other people. You could just grab that ball and go and train and try and develop some new skills.
Sure.
We're going to jump around, I'm sure, through different decades, but just to, I guess, one thing that really I wanted to bring up was the early stages of how then this became a bit more of a realistic lifestyle choice for you. So when I first didn't even meet you guys first, actually, it was my first connection to you was through Monta, I guess, through montasoccer back in the 2005, 2006, and a bit around there. To my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were the first, you two and Pale, who's worth definitely dropping in a mention here. Unfortunately, couldn't join us today, but the three of you, I remember being, I think, the first officially sponsored to our knowledge athletes in freestyle. Is that correct?
Yes, for me it was.
I think so. Yeah, I didn't even think about it, but I think that's especially because it was a freestyle and street football brand. I think there were maybe some individuals doing a few things for, the big brands, but really a street brand that were sponsoring and having a real team. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it was the three of you, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and there was also the street legends, Jermaine Vandenberg and Jurich and these guys.
Yeah.
When I started off, sorry to interrupt you. I mean, like, I just wanted to do it. I loved it. I felt it. It resonated with me. I didn't care. I mean, like, I come from, an engineering background, right? Once I got that degree put on the wall, I just went into a different direction. I just said, I'm just going to go this direction. I don't care where it's going to bring me. I'm just going to do it. I want to do something different. You only got one life, and it's brought a lot of experiences. And yeah, Monta was my first really official gig. I thought, yeah, sure, there were a lot of, negativeness in maybe the family or friends in the past, when you choose something that's kind of like not concrete. But for me, I just went into the direction and I said, I'm going to make it work. I don't care what people say. I'm just going to go down that road. So yeah, Monta was the first official kind of brand to sponsor and to be an ambassador. It's based in Holland. I like Holland. And yeah, Edgar Davids was one of my inspirations as well. So that was a good plus. But I really wanted to make it work. So I remember going there and meeting with Edgar Davids and his team, and going through the formalities. Now I flew back to Ireland, right? And I spoke with Edgar Davids' lawyer at that time, and I bought my ticket for the next day. Like I went back to Ireland and I bought my ticket to go back and sign the deal. That's how much I wanted it, right? And I did that. So I just wanted to add that. Back in memory. Yeah, that's how we met. Via Monta. Thank you, montasoccer. You're around today.
They are indeed. Yeah, very good. And Daniel, lastly on that era, what on earth was going on with your hair back then? Where's it all gone? What firstly, why would you go down the dreads look, and then why did you get rid of it after you were so iconic? You're on mute, by the way. Yeah.
Am I on mute? No.
No, you're good now. Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good question, but I can simply answer it. When I was little, in 1988, I saw Holland winning the European Championships in 1988, and Ruud Gullit, the guy with the dreads, he was scoring in the final a header like that, and I saw his dreads flying all around, and I was like, yeah, I got to have that. And besides that, I was also super lazy, so I didn't want to comb my hair. So I just let it grow, and if you let it grow, you don't comb your hair. Yeah, they start to to knot. So
Amazing.
I let it grow.
We have to find a video link for that because there's some street performances.
Yeah.
It just stands out, those early stage videos of street performance of what freestyle was. I can picture JK, I can picture you, Nam, doing some panna, and I can picture the dreads in the streets.
JK, you had long hair too, right? I don't even want to talk about my hairstyle. You had long hair. I remember JK, right? Yeah.
Long hair? Yeah. Awesome.
Did you have long hair, Dan?
Me? No, not really.
And the reason I cut it off was because I was getting pain in my neck.
It's too heavy.
Yeah. It was literally where it was like 2 or 3 kilos. Yeah. Because I couldn't sit like this in a chair, and even today I sit a little bit like this because my brain thinks the hair is in the way, even 10 years after.
Wow.
Some memories still there, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if that, after cutting your hair, did it improve your uppers then?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
I'm sure it felt a lot different, right?
So much different. The first days was so weird and so cold as well on my neck. Because you always have a blanket, like.
Especially in Sweden, you need it in the winter.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks for that. JK, back to you. My next question for you is similar. So memories, one of the biggest memories that will always be with me is you with Abbas, you and Abbas Farid in London, just on the South Bank. I think we arranged to all meet together on the South Bank, and you guys, when you connected, like watching the way you were training, but you weren't. You were just having some fun with the ball. And I've never, to this day, seen that creativity like it was then. Do you remember that time? Do you remember the way you were when you met Abbas?
I know. I remember that. Yeah.
Amazing times. So when you were training freestyle, whether you were alone or with Abbas, what was going through your mind? What were you thinking? Why were you, or how were you developing new skills? Okay.
In London,
yeah, anywhere in general, around 2006, 2007. What were you thinking? Can you remember the thinking about creating new freestyle moves?
For me, it was too stressful because having fun, but my mindset wasn't really enjoying.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't just okay. Right. So you created. Was there pressure to?
Too much.
Okay. But that was because maybe tell us more. You came to London on your own with hardly any money, just I think a few $100 to live. Just you and your football.
Let you in.
I know. He was allowed in. Yeah.
Not just him, with KHB.
With KHB as well. Amazing. But yeah, so how difficult was that? Like what was that experience like for you?
I was young, so I feel I make a story in my life. No money, just I bring just a ball to go another country, and then I want to make some story. Yeah.
Perfect. And you were filming everything.
Background music. It adds to the atmosphere. No, keep going, JK. Go on.
Finish.
Okay. No problem. Okay. What about your memories? The most exciting things that you have done. Where has freestyle taken you? Which parts of the world do you remember the most?
Are you asking everyone?
JK first.
First,
Yeah.
Travel around the world.
Yeah. Are there any of your which were your favorite places to visit and your experiences?
For me, Egypt. Yeah. Egypt.
Yeah.
JK, that's where we met first time.
Oh yes.
We met
I
in
met-
Egypt on the beach. I met you randomly.
Yes. Pepsi.
Yes.
Randomly.
I'm
No.
walking. I am with Yurok. I'm walking on the beach in Egypt. Someone taps on my shoulder, and it's JK. Hey Daniel, what's up?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, you was like
Red Bull. I was doing Red Bull show on the beach, and you were doing show for Pepsi on the beach next to each other. Completely random.
I remember. You was one of my favorite freestylers because I love your style and your move like a rhythmical.
Thanks, man.
And I copied.
Happy is the most important. I think.
Yeah, copy a little bit. Yeah.
Always happy. Yeah, everyone's always happy. Cool. So Egypt was good, and yeah, you used to make some amazing videos of all of your trips. I remember you captured probably one of the first, right? I don't know, Daniel, what you remember first in terms of the editing of stories of places through freestyle. JK was certainly one of the more advanced back then. I remember.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to describe before with like making a story with the ball, that really came across in his videos. I mean, it was almost like going to the theater, you know, watching his videos. I mean, I really love the one where you had like some kind of choir singing on the street, and the music fitted so well with and the thing is, it really surprises me that he says that he was feeling pressure, because for me, the beautiful side of freestyle of Jeon Kwon is that it doesn't feel like there's any pressure. It feels like you're not even practicing. It just feels like you're playing, which for me, that's your strength. That it feels like you're just randomly doing stuff that you don't really even think about it, which gives it a very playful and free character. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's really surprising for me to hear that in your head you had a lot of pressure, because for me it felt like you were completely free.
Interesting.
Maybe JK made pressure in a different way. I remember my first video of JK was like sit down. He was doing some crazy sit down moves, and I was like, "What? How does he move those legs?" Like,
yeah, panorama sit down.
That's it. I think that's it. That's the one.
And then I can remember you training spin magic as well in Leicester Square. We had a little studio in Leicester Square, and you were hours and hours just training spin magic. And yeah.
He was from, you know, Japanese guy, Yas?
Yes, I know.
For me, yeah. For me, he was the most creative freestyler. He was. He just only do it spin magic or variation.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. In real show, live show. So that was second shock. Yeah. Ronaldinho and Yas. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a cool video where you freestyled in front of Ronaldinho. Competition.
Yes,
he had a competition, right?
2008.
Yeah. And that you had the long hair here.
I copy Mr. Wu hairstyle.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Brilliant.
And now Mr. Wu looks like Madonna.
We saw him. Actually, that's a good memory. So he then, speaking of Mr. Wu, we all saw him when probably we were all together properly for the first time in Kuala Lumpur in 2011 for the first ever World Tour or World Championships by the Federation, which was an amazing event. JK was competing. You were both judges, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you were judging. Abbas was there too.
Yeah,
Abbas
exactly.
was judging as well. Yeah, so that really got everyone together. And Mr. Wu came and watched from the stands as a fan, which was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the first time I met him was at Euroback 2007. That's also where I met Nam the first time.
Okay.
Euroback, I remember that. Yeah.
Mm.
John Forward. That what was that? That Mike? No, he wasn't there, was he?
Tuzani,
Tuzani was there.
Andreas, Abbas, Lucasso. I met Lucasso for the first time. He was in the crowd.
Yeah.
He was a lot thinner, right?
Good times.
He was what?
A lot thinner.
Yeah, there was the skinny Lucasso with more hair here than here.
Good times, good times. Okay, let's just bring it up to date, I guess, now, because honestly, I know we could talk for hours about other memories. So just bringing it to today, what's going on in your lives now? How, you know, and I know that JK, you said you're doing more football now, but I still see some freestyle. I still see the occasional freestyle from him. So Daniel, what's going on in your life right now? How has freestyle helped you to get to where you are now, and what are you doing?
Good question, Dan. Well, freestyle is still my life. It's always been for the last 20 years, and it always will be. I think the biggest difference is that I have a lot of stuff to do now. You know, I've got 2 children, so my family's taking a lot of time, and of course I'm getting older, so I'm not more performing or competitions or anything. So when it comes to training, I still train a little bit just for myself, like 1-2 times a week, you know, just to stay fit. It's more like an exercise nowadays for me, instead of like getting better, or I'm just trying to keep a certain not stupid looking level. You know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, and besides that, I'm working on Red Bull Street Style, and I'm working, of course, with you, Daniel, at the WFFA. So yeah, that's basically my main job, is working with the WFFA, promoting freestyle football around the world, and yeah, so working behind the scenes to still enjoy the sport off stage and not on stage anymore.
Awesome. Nam, what's going on in your world? I never know where you are, first of all, so tell us a bit of what you've been up to more recently, and yeah, and also what freestyle has meant to you over the years to bring you to today.
Yeah, I don't regret one bit at all my choice choosing freestyle football. And I used to say freestyle football chose me. Met a lot of friends along the way. Damn, it's experience-wise, traveling to all these countries I never thought I'd even travel to. You know, with Dan Rooseboom, Pale, and everybody else, it's just great. I kind of let me see, where can I start from this? I just answer your question. Yeah, sure. I was a freestyler, performed everywhere, got gigs here and there, contests just like JK and Dan Rooseboom and everyone else back in the day. I don't know. I sat down in my living room. I was in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I was like in my underpants, and a thought just crossed my mind. I was like, "What's next?" And I didn't mean that like, you know, what's outside of freestyle football. Like, what's the next step? You know. You've reached certain goals and milestones. What's next? So I thought events, just, you know, grow a community in Asia and just start doing events. I didn't have a clue how to organize events. I just wrote everything down on paper. Anything that was white, even a whiteboard, I just wrote it down. This is what we need. That. Make it happen. Get the community to come and gel together and make it happen. So yeah, I think my first event officially was the Vietnamese National Championships. And we had that running for a couple of years, and next after that was the Asian Championships, right? And so from freestyle football to events, I wanted to still be in freestyle football. I still am in a way. It's just, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm doing right now that I'm kind of prioritizing a little bit more, but it's still there. I've moved into events and tried to find solutions for that. So I was forever doing new things. Every time you meet me, it's like, you know, what are you doing now? Well, I'm doing import exports right now. Oh, I'm doing mobile apps now. Oh, I'm doing this online course. You know, I'm traveling here and there.
We know,
you know,
don't you worry. I think everyone in the community still knows that.
Yeah, well,
Nam is the master of all trades. Yeah.
I said wear a lot of different hats, but like still, you know, it's just a learning journey for me. Currently, I'm doing import exports internationally. I'm still involved in mobile apps. The reason for the mobile apps is to really develop a solution for freestyle football from events, and that's why I got into mobile apps. And I kind of I was still involved. Like I was not, you know, with social media. I wasn't very actively involved in terms of posting and whatnot. But every day I'm just watching different videos and clips, and you know, just reading up on what's happening in the world. I'm still connected with a lot of people in the sport across the whole world. I like to catch up face to face, or like this. It's good to speak rather than, you know, texting people. But yeah, just to answer your question, what I've been recently, just a lot of stuff. I always try to push events in Asia. That was for the past 5-6 years. I mean, like, how many Asian championships under our belts do we have, and national events and whatnot. But yeah, currently import export, production. There's just a whole lot of stuff. I'm not going to get into it right now. We're talking about freestyle football.
That's fine. Let's summarize it to say freestylers opened up doors for you to kind of do whatever you want and improvise and travel and
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I'll just share it that much for now.
Thanks, Nam. That's brilliant. JK, last but not least, tell us what's your. So you have an academy now in Korea. You have a big social media following, and I think a lot of that has come because of freestyle. But what is your mission now? What is your plan for the future?
My plan, I wanna make a professional football team, and I want to manager, not coaching. How can I say?
You want to manage the team, to create a team and manage that team.
Yes, but for professional.
Okay. Okay. Well, watch this space with JK's skills and knowledge. Korea will be taking over world football.
Yes.
So you want to start a professional football club?
No, for the future.
Okay, yes, that's your dream. Okay.
Yes.
Amazing.
Awesome. This is great, and yeah, there's too many ways and too many emotions and ideas that always comes from talking to you guys. So, but I'm gonna call this short now. So, thank you so much for all of you for your time today, for being here, and for everything that you've done for freestyle. Because without you, certainly every of this generation of freestyler, you know, they were watching your videos, they were inspired by you, and I hope that future generations can remember and be inspired in the same way. So congratulations to everything that you're doing, and good luck. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
Well, thanks for having us, Dan.
You're welcome.
Pleasure was all ours, I think.
All good. Well, stay safe, and remember, all you need is a ball.
All you need is a ball.
All you need is a ball.